Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie is 22 July. So it's July 22nd, but in Europe and stuff like that, they say the date first before they say the month, I believe. Anyway, who cares? This is about the worst terrorist attack to ever happen in Norway. And I think 70 people died. Now, when I read the synopsis, it's a 3-part story. So I'm not sure really what that means. But I don't know if there's more versions of this to come out afterwards, or if I've already missed 2. I have no idea. But I plan on checking it out for you and let you know what I think. I'm kind of excited. It's on Netflix. That's the one thing I forgot to tell you. Netflix. So, you know, you win some, you lose some with Netflix, right? And 6.8. Wow, it's a 2-hour and 23-minute movie. 6.8 on IMDb. I'll get into it here. See if it's worth watching 2 hours and 23 minutes, and I'll check in with you. Alright. Hey everybody, I want to do a quick check-in here. We're watching 22 July, a Netflix film about one of the worst terrorist attacks to happen in Norway. We're at the 45-minute, 59-second mark, and there's still a lot left, an hour and 38 minutes. But I think it's broken up into 3 parts. I'm not 100% sure. I want to be brief. But basically what happens is, you know, I kind of relate it to what we know today. So this one lone guy that we know so far has basically parked a van outside the Prime Minister building, the government building where the Prime Minister is there, which blows up, kind of like what the Unabomber did, blows up the building and, you know, starts creating a little panic. Not sure, you know, the death toll or anything like that, but the destruction that was there. He then immediately goes to the, I don't know how to say it, Utitoy? UTO, I don't know, but island. This island is essentially where about hundreds of kids gather for like a summer camp. And I think they are like sons and daughters of leaders within Norway or future leaders or something like that. Maybe highly connected. I don't know. They don't really elaborate too much on that, but it's hundreds of kids. This guy gets out on the ferry onto there and continues to mass shoot these kids. Very similar to our school shootings now. Anyway, so that, and then they capture him. And at this point now because this is all based on true stuff, so I'm not really spoiling anything. Leave all the other stuff out there for you to see how he does it, and some of the things that he does, it's just sickening. Anyway, he is now captured. He calls a guy to be his lawyer. And now they're interrogating him. He's saying he's part of a bigger cause, part of the Knights Templar. He wants Islam out of Norway, those types of things. He wants to stop immigration, and his demands. But I think, so the first part is the act, everything that he had done, a little bit of backstory on some of the people that were involved, you know, some of the kids that were there, some of the parents that might be tied in, and now we're moving on to the interrogation portion, I believe, of the story, and then probably finally the trial. I don't know though. That's where we are so far. Very, very interesting, because I was not aware of any of this. Don't really follow Norway history or government or anything like that, so this is somewhat interesting to me to see, and we'll see where it goes from here. I'm enjoying it. There's no subtitles. Wasn't sure about that, and there's not, so far so good. I'll get back into it a little bit more. If I need to, I'll stop in. If not, see you at the credits. But we got a long time, so sit tight. I'll be back. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of 22 July, and really, I thought it was an outstanding film. A little long, but it wasn't like boring. There's no lulling points that you know, you start drifting off, maybe checking your phone, whatever. I was interested and intrigued the entire 2 hours and however long it was. They take the perspective of 3 different angles, essentially. So we see the act and the action that causes this terrorist attack, or the actions that were taken for the terrorist attack. And then we get the viewpoint of 1, the terrorists, 2, then they really focus on one of the victims, and you know, his survival and everything that he goes through. And the third, maybe a little bit of like the, I don't know, the legal system, more so lawyers and stuff like that. So it's kind of broken down, as I said, into the act. It goes into the arrest and the interrogation, and then the trial preparation. You know, how is he going to plea and things like that, and it goes back and forth that way. You know, while one lawyer who reluctantly has to defend him, you know, is dealing with how does he actually defend this guy who has done this and admittedly does this. So there's that whole struggle, and then there's the trial. And, you know, within the trial, he wants to speak at the trial, the terrorist. They want to bring in the victims and stuff like that so that you can have their statements. And, you know, so all of that goes on throughout this entire movie. One of the things that I wanted to say, the island is Uteo, I believe. It's the way you pronounce it, Uteo. And that's the island where all the kids were on and stuff like that. So the kids, all in all, it was 77 people were killed. I believe 69 of them were children at Uteo, and the other 8 were in maybe the building office. I'm not 100% sure. But all in all, 77 fatalities and 200 injuries, at least 200 injuries or something like that. His whole idea was to hit him where it hurts. That was his whole theory around, like, why would somebody do something this crazy? It's to hit him where it hurts. One other interesting fact that I thought that, you know, when you take a look at Norway's legal system, not so much the whole system, but their court system. So we know what, at least in the United States, I know what our court system looks like. Everybody sits there, the lawyers and the prosecution and defense sit up front, and the judge is right up there. Well, this is slightly different. They're along the sides, more so, and the audience, if you will, they sit behind glass walls. So again, it goes all the way around instead of just like in, you know, like a classroom type settings. They're all the way around, and they can view everything from those angles. So I thought that was an interesting glimpse that I had never seen into, you know, Norway's courtroom system. So back to the movie as a whole. I'm trying to be brief. It's based on factual events in 2011 is when this happened. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was well acted. You know, you really almost sometimes think, is it almost a documentary, I thought. But, you know, I don't know any of these Norway actors, so that's why I enjoyed it. So they were very believable. And ultimately, I'm going to give it an 8. It's definitely not a 6. Can't give it a 7. It's got to be an 8. It's worth watching. I didn't know anything about this event coming into the movie besides what I read on the synopsis, and it kept me interested the entire time. And like I said, it was fun to watch in a sense. I mean, terrible to watch, but a little diamond in the rough for me. Normally these Netflix films don't always turn out to be that great. I thought this one was really good. So if this is something that might interest you, kind of, you know, I love movies based on real life situations. And this one even was outside of our country. So again, if you have the time, check it out. I think you'll be, you know, I think you'll enjoy it hopefully as much as I do if these are your types of movies. So I'm sorry, rambling on. I wanted to be short. Check it out. Leave me comments. Subscribe to my channel. And thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.